Salute, saints. All right. It's your brother, Remain True. You're on me. How we're going to pick back up into the lesson on Esau and Nimrod. Okay. Nimrod and Esau's relationship, and prove that the Book of Jasher is not at all contradicted by the King James Canon Bible. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. Let's recap a little bit on Nimrod and Jasher, chapter 8, I think. All right, so let's just do a little recap, and then we're gonna move on and wrap this thing up. Okay, so let's take a look at what we saw in Genesis and confirm that these precepts are lining up upon precepts. Okay. All right. Okay. So Jasher, chapter 7, and let's look at 35 real quick. No, let's, matter of fact, go back a little bit. So Jasher 7 and 30. And Nimrod became strong when he put on the garments, and the Most High gave him might and strength, and he was a mighty hunter in the earth. Yeah, he was a mighty hunter in the field, and he hunted the animals, and he built altars, and he offered upon them the animals before Yahweh. Okay. All right, let's look down and find out about location of his kingdom. We saw that in Genesis he built 4 cities. He built 4 cities, of which one was Shinar. Remember that in Genesis? All right. All right, so let's look at Jasher 7:37. And all the men that went were about 500, and they fought against their enemies, and they destroyed them. That's speaking of Nimrod's men versus Japheth's boys, because they were at war with Japheth's boys at the time. All right. (39) 7 and 39. And when Nimrod had joyfully returned from battle after having conquered his enemies, all his brethren, together with those who knew him before, assembled to make him king over them, and they placed the regal crown upon his head. Okay, so Nimrod is exalted. They want to put a crown on his head, make him a king. All right. 42. And whilst he was reigning according to his heart's desire, and having conquered all his enemies around, he advised his counselors to build a city for his palace, and they did so. 7:43, Jasher. And they found a large valley opposite to the east, and they built him a large and extensive city. And Nimrod called the name of the city that he built Shinar. All right, precept from Canon in Genesis, Shinar. For Yahweh had vehemently shaken his enemies and destroyed them. Okay. All right, which we saw that earlier. And Nimrod reigned in the earth of all the sons of Noah. They were all under his power and control. All right. So, like we saw, Nimrod was wicked. He worshipped. He was the first to worship idol gods of wood, stone, and things like that. Okay, and his son was worse than him. All right. His son did more evil abominations than his father Nimrod did. And so the saying went forth, from the wicked goes forth wickedness. Okay. Let's look at this vision. Well, no, we don't need to look at this vision. We saw that in the earlier part on Nimrod, in chapter 8 of Jasher, where the great star went in and subdued the other 4 stars of heaven. Okay. And we got into the whole thing about Nimrod, Abram, and that horse. So now let's go skip over to chapter 9. All right. Jasher chapter 9. Let's look at 9, and then we're going to go to chapter 12. So let's look at verse. You know what? We don't even need to go here. I would still advise you on your own time, man, read chapter 9, because chapter 9 goes, Jasher chapter 9 goes into Abram's waking up, all right? Because Abram was seeking the Most High, but he was starting off serving idols and the sun and all that too, looking for the Most High. But the Most High gave him understanding, and Abram fortunately learned from the only people who were still practicing righteousness on the earth, which was his fathers, Eber, Noah, all right, and Shem. So Abram was blessed and chosen by the Most High to be a man that served the spirit and not the material idols, all right? So we don't need to go in 9, but take your time and go there and read it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and move on over 10 as well, okay? Because I don't know if I pointed out, but Jasher chapter 7 gives you the table of nations, just like Genesis 10 gives you the table of nations. However, Jasher goes into a little bit more detail, or should I say a lot more detail. You could definitely figure out a lot more nations and peoples looking at Jasher, because a lot of the stuff you guys are calling nations and who y'all calling certain people, that stuff makes no sense. All right, y'all making it up according to y'all own imagination. Okay. All right. So Jasher 12, and let's start around 45. Let me think. So Jasher 12, and no, not 45. Jasher 12 and 30. No, actually it is for Jasher 12 and 45. All right. And at the expiration of 2 years from Abram's going out of the fire, that's because Nimrod cast Abram in the fire for destroying his daddy Terah's idols, all right? And rebelling against the king and calling the king a fool in so many words. All right, so after 2 years, it was after 2 years from Abram's going out of the fire, but the Most High delivered Abram out that fire like he did Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So therefore, Abram was pretty renowned by this time. So 2 years later, you got Nimrod. Behold, King Nimrod sat in Babel. Okay, he sat in Babel upon the throne, and the king fell asleep and dreamed that he was standing with his troops and hosts in a valley opposite the king's furnace. All right, so Jasher 12:45 gives you this dream. Now let's just look at the conclusion of the dream. 51. And in the morning the king rose from his couch in fear, and he ordered all the wise men and magicians to come before him, when the king related his dream to them. And a wise servant of the king, whose name was Anuki. Yep, Anuki. A wise servant of the king, whose name was Anuki, answered the king, saying, This is nothing else but the evil of Abram and his seed, which will spring up against my lord and king in the latter days. Okay? And behold, the day will come when Abram and his seed and the children of his household will war with my king, and they will smite all the king's hosts and his troops. And as to what thou hast said concerning 3 men which thou didst see like unto thyself, and which did escape, This means that only thou wilt escape with 3 kings from the kings of the earth who will be with thee in battle. And that which thou sawest of the river which turned to an egg at first, the young bird plucking out thine eye, this means nothing else but the seed of Abram, which will slay the king in the latter days. This is my king's dream, and this is its interpretation. And the dream is true, and the interpretation which thy servant has given thee is right. So Anuki is assuring, he's guaranteeing, he's telling Nimrod, I guarantee you, the seed of Abram gonna destroy you in the latter days, man, if you don't do something about him. Now this is Anuki. This is the Anuki giving, a wise man named Anuki giving him this advice. So we know that's a demon. All right, so verse 57. Now therefore, my king, surely thou knowest that it is now 52 years since thy sages saw this at the birth of Abram. And if my king will suffer Abram to live in the earth, it will be to the injury of my lord and king. For all the days that Abram liveth, neither thou nor thy kingdom will be established. For this was known formerly at his birth. And why will not my king slay him, that his evil may be kept from thee in latter days? And Nimrod hearkened to the voice of Anuki, and he sent some of his servants in secret to go and seize Abram and bring him before the king to suffer death. Okay? All right, so I just wanted to show you Nimrod's dream that he had of the seed of Abram causing his death, which was prophecy. All right, which goes back to show you that when you get to Jasher 26 and you see Nimrod getting his head cut off by Esau, that's a fulfillment of the prophecy. The seed of Abram would have caused Nimrod's death. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can go to Jubilee, since we got this sword out. Let's see if we can go to Jubilee and get an extra credit precept for you, Gaddy boy. All right, just to put the icing on the cake for you. And them false prophets that's feeding you that madness, them false prophets out of the house of Judah that's feeding you that madness. Well, actually, your elders, I don't even think they from the house of Judah. I think them niggas is tares, Edomites, from the seed of Gomer and that mixed ass nation that Esau is become now. Because the seed of Esau has been mixed. That's the only reason why Saudi Arabians and all of them, they're not as dark as us, because they all been mixed up. But Esau would have been dark ass or darker than Jacob had he not mixed with Greece. But anyway, that's a whole nother lesson. Okay. I think we did pretty good as far as Jasher is concerned. I think that's a clean guillotine cut on you, Gaddy boy. All right. You saw Esau was called Esau for he came out red and hairy. In Genesis, he was called Esau because he came out red and hairy in Jasher. Esau was born when Isaac was 60 years old in Genesis. Esau was born when Isaac was 60 years old in Jasher. Nimrod began to reign over Babel in Genesis. Nimrod began to reign over Babel and Jasher as a mighty hunter. Okay? Esau was a deceitful and a cunning man in Genesis. He's a deceitful and a cunning man in Jasher, who sold his birthright for red pottage and was called Edom. in Genesis. We may not see the precept for him being called Edom in Jasher. If it's in there, I haven't found it. But the terminology Edom is definitely used in the book of Jasher. And like we already discussed, Edom only means red, all right? Edom means red. Adam means red. All right? Esau means hairy. All right? From the respect that you're hairy because you are a man. You know, you're showing that ruddiness of a man, that roughness of a man, and not the smoothness of a babe. That's the reason why they called him Esau. Like I said, it's almost like if we would call one of our little cousins or something little man, because of the maturity that the little boy displays. We don't say little boy, we would say little man, because you're still little as hell, but you're a man, right? But man is the key word. So in this case, red is the key word. Adam could have been anybody's name, no matter what their color was. All right. But, you know, it was given to Esau because he came out looking like a man. And Esau was given to him because he came out looking like a man. And Adam, or Adawan, was given to him because he sold his birthright for some red pottage. All right. Okay. And the biggest precept, I guess, for you, Gaddy boy, would be for you to note that Nimrod lived 215 years. Okay. And Esau and Jacob became men accepted in society at the age of 15. All right. So Esau was a older gentleman. However, he was a man still hunting in the field with his strength and his might. And Jacob was a young man, you know, growing up into his strength and his might as a hunter in the field. And the Most High was with him, just like the promise concerning Abram's seed. And the Most High took Nimrod's wicked behind out by who? Abram's seed. Esau's wicked behind. Okay? That's the way the Most High wanted it to be done. That's the way it happened. Even though Esau would become a wicked seed of Abram, it was still Abram's seed. Okay? That subdued that king and got his behind out the way. So now let's go to, I think that's good for Jasher. And we bust the definitions out for you. So now you know the difference between Esau and Edom, okay? And Nimrod, looking at that definition, is probably say valiant or rebel. But it has to do with a warrior, sort of a man, all right? Nimrod's name is in essence due to him being a fighter, all right? A warrior, a mighty one, all right? Okay. So now, just for a little extra credit, Gaddy boy, to go the extra mile with you, Gaddy boy, and all you other people that's following these false prophets like GMS, we're gonna go and since that other brother over there always want to throw out the book of Jubilees and Jasher when he do his little mocking, Adawanya, whatever the hell your name is, boy. Okay, you don't know what the hell in these books, nigga. You can't even read these books. Them false prophet elder Tahars and Gabars and Ramlocks, shit, you might even still be under Ariel false doctrine having ass. Okay, you don't know what the hell in these books, nigga. You just going off what somebody told your ass. All right. But your ass need to get in here and read it before you start talking about, you know, how wrong it is, nigga. If you probably ain't even read it, nigga. All right. what I said I was gonna do? Go to Jubilees for you, Mr. Adawanya, whatever the hell your name is. Nigga, I'm gonna go to Jubilees for you and make this a 1-2 punch. Okay, cause I could have hit Gaddy Boy ass with the one-hitter quitter. I easily got Gaddy Boy ass with the one-hitter quitter. All right, dealing with the Book of Genesis and the Book of Jasher. But now we're gonna get you niggas with a 3-punch combination and show you according to Jubilees the precepts. All right, so let's first look at Jubilees chapter 3. I think we want to start at. All right, GMS, so we're gonna look at Jubilees chapter 19, man, first. And this is gonna be a little bit of extra credit. Y'all didn't ask nothing about a precept from Jubilees, but we're gonna cut you real quick since y'all always want to. You already know you cut out a cannon with Enoch. Okay, you can't explain that first chapter of Enoch being quoted verbatim by is it Jude? Okay, one of the apostles in the New Testament that tell you the Most High gonna come with, you know, tens of thousands of his holy ones to execute vengeance upon you liars and all you proud men. All right, okay, the only place you're gonna find that precept is in Enoch. Where's the book of Enoch, Gaddy Boy? Your ass can't produce Jasher. You can't produce the real Jasher. Can you produce the real Enoch? All right, you have to get a Romlock ass back out here, man. Okay? Because somebody else got to bleed. Because y'all talk too much shit, man. Okay? Oh, the Book of Jasher, Book of Jasher, Book of Jasher. But you ain't pulled a motherfucking thing to cut Jasher with. Okay? Because you cut like a motherfucker, man. Jasher cut you clean like a guillotine right now. And I'm finna cut your ass with Jubilees. Jubilee 19. Jubilee 19. And 13. And in the 6th week, and in the 2nd year thereof, Rebekah bare to Isaac 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob was a smooth and upright man, and Esau was fierce, a man of the field, and hairy. And Jacob dwelt in tents. All right. Let's look a little bit more. And the youths grew. Same precept lining up. Esau, a man of the field. Jacob, a laid-back fella dwelling in tents, man. Jacob and Esau. Jacob was a smooth and upright man, and Esau was fierce, a man of the field, and hairy. And Jacob dwelt in tents. And the youths grew, and Jacob learned to write, but Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter, and he learned war, and all his deeds were fierce. You feel what I'm saying? Esau was just a rough dude, man. He wasn't trying to learn. He wasn't just trying to become, one who would excel, I guess you could say, in studies, or knowledge, or for Esau it was just a plain life where it was, man, I'm just going out here to get it day by day. You know what I'm saying? Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm going to this field and make a kill. You know what I'm saying? He was a rough man. That's what his name means also, rough. Esau, another definition for the word Esau is rough. Okay? Rough. Yeah, ruddy. That's what ruddy really means. Ruddy means rough. It doesn't mean necessarily red. It's just a reddish description depending on the context. Okay, because sometimes depending on if you know what I'm saying, we don't get into it all that, man. We went through the definitions. You got them. Look at the Hebrew 121, 122, 123 for Adam. Edom, Idumea, Adawam, all that, okay? And then 66, 12 through 15 for Esau. All right, and the Hebrew, you'll get all the breakdowns of the definition of the name Esau. All right. So that was Jubilees 19:3. Now let's go over to Jubilees 24. Jubilees 24 and 3. Oh, let's start at 2. And in the first year of the 4th week, a famine began in the land, besides the first famine, which had been in the days of Abraham. Verse 3, and Jacob sowed lentil pottage, and Esau came from the field hungry. And he said to Jacob his brother, give me of this red pottage. And Jacob said to him, sell to me thy primogeniture, this birthright, and I will give thee bread, and also some of this lentil pottage. So in other words, Jacob said, man, you're hungry? Hey, send me your birthright. Now I'll give you some bread and some of this. I'll give you some bread to go with this pottage, boy. Okay. And Jacob gave his brother Esau bread and pottage. That's verse 6. And he ate till he was satisfied. And Esau despised his birthright. For this reason was Esau's name called Edom, on account of the red pottage which Jacob gave him for his birthright. So Adawamia is Jubilees. Is Jubilees being cut? Because I don't see nothing in Genesis that's cutting Jubilee right here with Esau being called Edom after he sold his soul for the red soup. He sold his soul for the red beans, the red pot of soup. In Genesis is what got him called Edom. Him coming out hairy all over like a rough red garment was what got him called Esau. Well, in Jubilee, we just saw that the red pottage was what got him called Edom. Okay. And in Jasher, we saw that the roughness and the whole completeness of his appearance was what got him called Esau. All right. Okay. All right. Let's look at verse 6. And Jacob gave his brother Esau bread and pottage, and he ate till he was satisfied, and Esau despised his birthright. For this reason was Esau's name called Edom, on account of the red pottage which Jacob gave him for his birthright. And Jacob became the elder, and Esau was brought down from his dignity. All right, you see that? So that was your fall. That was the fall of Esau right there. Selling his soul for the red pottage after he fought for his life with Nimrod and Nimrod's 2 men after killing Nimrod one day while he was out hunting in the field. All right. And just like Esau cut Nimrod's damn head off with that sword, man, I do know for sure, Gaddy boy, that this was nothing but a clean guillotine cut to you, boy. All right. So there you go, man. Canon give you so little about Jacob and Esau, or this whole deal with, you know, actually it don't even, the canon doesn't make that relationship between Nimrod and Esau, other than the simple string of that one little thread of you know, that one little common thread, that one thread that they have in common, being both men of the field, being both men of war, hunters, mighty men. That was the common thread between them two in Genesis, but you probably would not have necessarily pick that up. But that's why you gotta live by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You see? Because if you don't, your doctrine will be starving. All right, so Evil Stevie, I just cut the shit out you. You can't, man. Romlock, I just cut the shit out. Your boys out here in Frisco again, man. All right, they bleeding, man. They bleeding like a stuck hog out here, Romlock. So you better get Tahar and Gabar on a plane out here, man, and bring a bunch of bandages and shit with y'all, and a bunch of, you know, gauze tape, medicated tape, cotton balls, man, whatever the hell you gotta use, man, to bandage up these motherfucking wounds, cause y'all leaking, man, and y'all need a bunch of bandages right now, GMS. And that's to any 12 tribe gospel. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just getting that GMS. All you camps, in my opinion, got heresies in y'all doctrine. IUIOC all the way down, man. What you call it? General Yohana and the gang. You know what I'm saying? The school where it all started. At least this chapter. You know what I'm saying? You know, where the supplanting took place at. Yeah, all you guys got issues, man. Y'all all got holes in y'all doctrine. Y'all all got contradictions in y'all doctrine, okay? All right, but anyway, that's good for edification. You know, people don't take it personal. This is what it is. All right, every man swore against his brother. That's the way the Most High said it would be, man. Okay, and my sword against brothers, neighbors, heathens, everybody, man. All right, why? Because if I don't put my sword on any and everybody, if I keep back my sword from blood, the Most High said I would be cursed. So it's never nothing personal, people. If I see your ass leaking like Esau caught Nimrod leaking, best believe me, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna get you, man. All right? Straight up. And GMS, y'all ass been got with this one, okay? So, Gaddy boy, I know you ain't got shit to say, because the cannon you got, there's nothing in that cannon you could come back with and even shoot back at me with. But I guess I'll wait and see what you try to shoot back at me with, all right? But you call me a dumbass because my dumb ass didn't know Jasher was made up by the white man and forgeries, and Jasher's made up heresies and all this other madness. How stupid could I be for reading Jasher when Jasher says Nimrod and Esau lived at the same time? But according to you, Gaddy boy, my dumb ass didn't even know that Nimrod lived before the flood. Nimrod lived before the flood. Which one is it? No, Gaddy boy, you tell us which one is it. Because you're the one who seemed confused to know what the hell's going on. I don't want to yell out, you know, whatever the hell that boy name is. Had to help your ass, you heathen. So, Evil Stevie, man, you need to get on your goddamn strangers that you're trying to make the seed of Israel. Talk to them strangers in your camp, because they're going to get the shit cut out you from the bottom all the way on up to the top. I done cut the hell out of Romlock, taught his ass the commandments of Christ, Matthew 5. That whole thing about not doing away with the law was just a warm-up to Christ giving you dummies his commandments. Okay? You idiots. Yeah, heaven and earth don't pass away. Romlock, I hope you're getting that shit right, man. Teach it to these dudes, man. So these dudes will quit trying to teach us the law of Moses and get caught shopping at Walgreens on Saturdays and shit. All right? Teach these people the doctrine, man. Okay? The true doctrine. All right, Romlock? Or do you got to come out here and let me teach you some more first? It don't. Okay, well, I told you, bring Gabar and Tahar. You can even bring Arya. Because I like to ask his ass as he through with that damn dream he had that came up with that damn 12 tribe chart. Okay, because I damn sure hope that dream is over, Arya. Okay? I mean, you know, and you know, man, it is what it is, man. You know, but you know, it's still love. But why am I able to cut the hell out y'all like this and say I still love y'all? What? Well, because I'm cutting y'all out in the truth. I can't rejoice in that iniquity that y'all got going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna love your ass with some tough love in this truth, man. Circumcise your heart around this place. Okay? So y'all that got the shit cut out y'all out of Jubilees, Genesis, and Jasher, GMS. Okay? Esau killed Nimrod when he was between 15 and 18 years old. Nimrod being 215 years old. Okay? Yeah, straight like that. So they did live both after the flood. Cannon will tell you that they both lived after the flood, Gaddy boy. Ooh, you people are hurt, boy. Y'all hurt right now. You man, go get you some bandages, boy. You bleeding like a motherfucker. All right, but to Israel, man. All right, saints, you know what I'm saying? Salute to you saints and shalom to you, Basham Yahweh Shai, Adonai. Come, Yahweh Shai, come.